Hey, it's World. I am back with another video. Today I have another indie brand to review with you, and this is going to be a full-blown review. I've tested this bag out quite a bit, and I'm going to let you know if I think this is worth it, right? Should you spend your money on this particular indie brand? So let's just get right into it. This bag was kindly sent to me as, I guess, PR to do an honest review. They didn't ask me to say particular things, so I'm just going to give you a straight up honest review like I usually do, right? And with any indie brand, I do go down a rabbit hole. I don't know too much. I've never really heard of them. I might have seen them pop up once or twice on Instagram and kind of just scrolled right through it. And I'll tell you why in a second here. But just to give you a little history on what I did find, they sent me a lookbook, a bunch of pictures and articles. And of course, I did some digging on the Googles myself. They are a company that started back in November of 2022, so it hasn't been really long. And they are based in Brooklyn and Singapore. This bag itself is calfskin leather, and they say they are part of the leather working group and amongst like 3 other organizations that talks about sustainability and worker fairness, etc., etc. To me, that's all really fluffy unless you can actually show me what you are doing. Like leather working group, is this vegetable tan leather or is this chrome tan leather? Like I want to know about the process. So you can say all the fluffy things, but let's get down to the nitty gritty so I can really understand where your material is coming from instead of just fluffy words. That's just my opinion, but they don't share a lot of that information. Normally you can find that like an FAQ, but not everybody cares about that. I like to geek out on this kind of information because, you know, with big luxury brands, they talk about sustainability, but they don't really share anything because that's top secret. And that's what I love about indie brands is that they show you a lot of information. They tell you the story, why they started the company. Like I have no idea. I was looking around to see who started this company. No idea. It's a mystery person. I mean, it could be a startup and they got, you know, private investors. They don't share that information. Normally with indie brands, you do find out a lot about the owner who started it, their passions, etc., but not this particular company. And it seems their marketing strategy probably actually is working pretty well. I don't know, like obviously I don't know what their sales are, but they're all over Instagram. And most of the time I see it's because it's on celebrities like Taylor Swift, Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez, like, sorry, I'm not a Swiftie. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift other than she's saying Love Story and her concert tickets are outrageously priced. So not a fan of her, don't really identify in her age group. Even though I think she's like around the same age as me. I don't even know. Please don't cancel me, but I don't really care for Taylor Swift and I don't understand what is the obsession with it. And it seems like their marketing strategy is just straight up gift the bags to celebrities and talk about it and hype it up that way. I'm not a marketing expert. I know to a certain extent that does work, but it's not something that really speaks to me. I don't really care if celebrities are wearing X, Y, and Z bag, not if it's Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever, like I don't really care. So it seems like they moved on to the strategy of reaching out to YouTubers and influencers. To me, it's like, oh my goodness, they're sending me a free bag. I've made it as a YouTuber. Nobody knows who I am. I'm an amoeba of a channel, but I'm glad they reached out to me because I really do love reviewing indie brands and really giving you my honest opinion. So enough of me blabbing. Let me talk a little bit about the purse. This is their Nirvana bag and they come in 9 different colors. So I chose the caramel color. They call it the earth color. Of course, I'm going to choose them. I'm not going to choose the black bag. I am a magpie towards beige bags and caramel bags. So of course, true to my creature of habit, I picked this particular color. And I'm not sure where this bag is made, but it did come from China because it said on the box, mainland China. And so I would say it's safe to assume that this bag is made in China. Not that there's anything wrong with it. As long as there's good quality control and there's, the bag is made really well. To me, it doesn't really matter where the bag is made. I looked inside, it doesn't say where it's made. But again, this is a full leather bag and the handles are really soft. The leather feels pretty nice. And the zipper works really very smoothly as well. You can see the gold hardware. Pretty high quality in my opinion, but again, this is not rocket science, but I did say made in China doesn't mean that it's good or bad. If you haven't seen my video, I bought a purse that was made in Italy. And if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I ripped that bag to shreds. Just because it's made in Italy doesn't mean it's good quality. So that's why I don't mind if it's made in China. And then going on back to the actual hardware itself, it does come with a little, I don't know what this is. It's a bean, and it says Aupen on there. And if you don't like it, because it adds weight to the bag, I don't know how much, but to me it didn't feel very heavy. You can actually take it off, this little bean here, and switch it out with a different bag charm. So I thought that was kind of cute. And then with the bag itself and the interior, there's one little open pocket right here, and then it's just an open compartment. And it says Aupen right here. And then the bag is lined with fabric and it's dark. And in a little bit, I will show you what fits in the bag itself. And then you've got the handle right here. It's braided, so I thought that was kind of cute. Not a big fan of this, I don't know. Not that I'm a bag designer or anything, but I feel like this could be much more sophisticated and a little bit more of a seamless look. So that's pretty much the, I guess, construction of the bag. It's a well-made bag. I'm looking at the stitching. The stitching is done very well. I don't see any loose stitching or any like stitching that is like ran over and then ran over twice. So the stitching itself is actually pretty good. I'm smelling for the leather smell. There's not a strong leather smell like other bags that I've reviewed before, but it does smell like leather. And I did use this bag for an entire week on a daily just to really feel out the bag and see how I like the functionality, the style, etc., etc. I mean, for me, this is not something I would use forever because they say it's timeless, but I feel like it's very trendy. This is a very trendy bag. There's no like big logos on the bag itself, which I do like, but I don't think this is a forever bag. Like I can't be wearing this 10, 15 years from now and be like, oh yeah, this is a bag that will last me for decades to come. And also, I don't think the quality of the bag is gonna last 10, 15 years, especially if you use it quite often. So I did use the bag for an entire week just to put my thoughts together on how I feel about the bag. And honestly, like, it's an armpit bag. So if you're more petite, I would say, yes, this bag will probably work out better for you, but this is straight up an armpit bag for me, just because I am a bigger person. I'm a size 8, size 10 US. I'm 5'8" in height, and I got bigger arms. So also, my shoulders slip down this way a little bit. So when I'm wearing it like this, it doesn't stay on here. Right now, there's nothing in it, so I can actually just like smash my arm down and keep it there as I'm walking. But when I'm walking and there's stuff in here and I don't want to ruin the bag by getting imprints of whatever stuff is in my bag, so I can't just like smash it down like this, right? So it was just end up falling off, and I would basically just hand carry it or wear it on the crook of my arm. So something to think about. It's probably a me problem, not so much a you problem, but that's also why I don't like tiny little shoulder bags. So I would say that's more of a preference. In terms of what fits in the bag, let me just kind of show you, and I'll continue talking about my opinions of the bag and the quality of it, and if I think it is worth for you to purchase. All right, so I filled up the bag with my usual stuff. You do have to play a little bit of Tetris just because of the shape of the bag. So zipper works again very well. I do have my cosmetic pouch where it's got mirrors, the pills, 2 lipsticks in there. This is actually a really nice one. It's pretty compact, and you just open it like this. And it fits quite a bit. So this is a little bit overstuffed, but it does go in there, and you do have to put it on this side of the bag just because of the height of it. Then I've got my card holder, which is the Kafun one that I recently purchased, and I've been really loving this. It fits a lot of stuff, and then it's actually still pretty compact, but of course you gotta make up for it with the length, something to think about, but it does fit nicely in here, as you can see. Then I've got my card holder now that I made. So if you haven't seen that video, I did attend a leather making class and I made this card holder myself. It's actually it's now my cash pouch. So that fits in there pretty nicely. Then I've got my iPhone 10, which is my work phone, which is one thing I'll say. I cannot fit 2 phones in here because I live the unfortunate life of having to carry 2 phones, which I know many of you do. So something to think about. Phones are just getting bigger and bigger. It's so annoying. So when I went out and I had to have my work phone on me, I put it in here because I don't need to access it as much, but then I had to hold my personal phone with me everywhere I go because it definitely will not fit both of them in there. And then I just got my car keys. Like I said, for an armpit bag that's pretty tiny, I'd say it does fit all of my essentials. You just have to play Tetris. And then of course, you know, you can't just fit all of this like that because it's way too thick, right? So you gotta do like a little bit of staggering. So basically kind of like this to fit everything in there. Again, first world problems, I understand. But if you are thinking about the capacity of this bag, you wanna make sure you get everything that you need in this tiny little purse. So after a week of wearing this bag, I will say there is corner wear already, and I wouldn't say I baby this bag, nor did I abuse it. I get in my car, I go do whatever. Then I get back in my car, you know? So I put on the seat, it's not like I put it on the floor. So there is a little bit of corner wear already. Just on, actually, you know what, let me see. It's very, very tiny, but this is after 1 week of wearing it, right? So something to think about if you care about that. Maybe you can get a different color that might not show as much, but you can see that, right? Let me get my face out here. Can you see that? There's a little tiny, tiny little bit of corner wear. But what's shocking, to be fair, yes, there's corner wear because corners are just prone to have that happen, right? But to be fair, I was literally coming out of my garage and I am not used to armpit bags. And of course, my let's just say, geometry of closing the door and getting out of the way before I closed the door wasn't there. So I scraped the side of the bag on the side of the door where, you know, the hook, the doorknobs, not the doorknob, but the door frame, and then something sharp is there, right? And I heard it go, I was like, oh my God, this bag is ruined. I immediately looked at the bag and it was actually fine. So I don't really understand the logic there, where corner wear has happened, even though I didn't really like abuse the bag other than accidentally scraping this against the door frame where the metal part is. And the bag itself is like, I like rubbed it out and make sure like it didn't have any scratches or anything, but yeah, no, it didn't. So I don't know. Take for that what you will. And then of course the handles are fine just because I've only used it for a week. And while you're watching this, if you haven't hit that subscribe button and the like button for me, let me know you will enjoy this kind of review by doing so, because yes, this bag was gifted to me, but I do use my money on a lot of other things and bags that I do an honest review on. If you can support me just by hitting the like and subscribe button, comment down below. That really helps the algorithm, and that way I can continue to provide you these honest reviews moving forward. So I continue to Google the bags to see what information other than, you know, sponsored from Bazaar and Vogue and everything on honest reviews that are out there. Of course, good old Reddit came up and they were brutal. I won't go into the comments, just Google Reddit Aupen and see what comes up. Go read the comments, and it's actually pretty interesting. I think that some of them were a little too harsh, in my opinion. Some of them were saying like, oh, I wouldn't pay $150 or $170 for this bag, let alone $340. Again, to me, that's a little extreme. These companies are in the business of making money, right? They need to have profit. Not that I know how much it's to make this bag. Opinions are opinions, right? They did point out something I didn't like see, but they do have, just beware of the return policy. Their return policy is actually pretty strict. So they do have a 7-day refund policy from the day you receive the bag. It is free shipping to you if you were to purchase this bag. However, if you do decide to return this bag, it's gonna be $80 off of what you purchased it with. So basically, if you wanna ship it back, their restocking fee or return fee, whatever, is going to be $80. So just be aware of that. But yes, go read what the comments are for the Reddit threads. I thought they were funny. I don't agree with all of them, but it's kind of nice to kind of just hear all different kinds of opinions about a new bag that there's not a whole lot of information out on. And you've heard me say this before. What I love about indie brands is that if they are willing to listen to the consumer's feedback and not be offended, so to speak, you take their feedback and change it for the better, it can only help them, right? Because at the end of the day, sales are driven by consumers. And if their feedback, you don't take it, you're gonna fail. So that's why, again, like Big Luxury, it's hard to get their ear and kind of, tell them what's wrong with the bag, it takes thousands. Whereas for indie brands, they have the capacity and not so much politics, so to speak, to make the changes pretty immediately with their manufacturing and their designs of the bag. All right, quickly, just to kind of go over some of these options. And I think that was maybe another consumer feedback, that when they first launched, they only had the bags in plastic leather, vegan leather, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't real calf leather. And I think they made the shift into using real calf leather based on consumer feedback, or maybe they just started and launched with plastic leather or vegan leather. And then the second round is when real calf leather came out. So when you're on their website, do make sure that you are looking at the material description so that you're not surprised with what you're receiving, because some of them do come in calf leather, some of them are plastic, some of them there's, depending on what color you choose, it could be vegan leather, or I'm going to call it plastic leather. I don't like calling it vegan leather, basically pleather or real leather. So I'm looking through kind of some of these models just to give you my thoughts. Nirvana, I think it's their iconic bag. It's really cute. I like it, but it's a trendy bag, right? The purpose bag is also another one that they have seen on celebrities or whatever. It's priced at $180, and I think that's not a horrible price. Consider that they're trying to go the lower mid-range route. And if you think about it, would I pay $180 for an up-and-coming brand, or would I give this money and spend, Tory Burch quality? I used to love Tory Burch, not anymore, but I'd rather spend $180 on a bag. That's just my opinion, just to test out some indie brands. And then it's something different. Not every single person out there has this kind of design or brand or bag, right? They've got the Joy bag, which is, I think, another reiteration of this one. The Fearless, there's also Purpose with a chain. I thought that was kind of cute, but this is the one that you need to watch out for, because in the neutral colors, I think, are calfskin. And then for the brighter, more fun colors, they're vegan leather, even though they're charging $200 for all, regardless of which option you choose. And then the Purpose and the Miracle, the ice ones, they're all fabric lined with, like, I guess the sparkly versions of it. So that is not going to be vegan pleather or regular leather. Overall, I think the price point is not horrible for the quality that you're receiving. Now, obviously, I haven't seen the other pieces here. If it's vegan leather or plastic leather for all of them and they're charging $500, I would have a problem with that. But if you're just keeping your prices streamlined, saying, hey, it's $200 regardless of vegan leather or, real leather, I think you can get away with that. They also recently launched jewelry, and they were supposed to send me jewelry, but it never showed up. I reached out, never responded. So here we are. If they do decide me to send the jewelry to me to review, I'm more than happy to do that for you. But I was looking at the jewelry. They just launched it, and I think they're really cute, especially the splash. I thought that was a very unique design where there's two ways of wearing it. There's the stud, and then if you, kind of like a modular design. I know that's really popular. And they offer in silver, gold gilded, and then of course gold ramil. A little pricey in my opinion, but they are pretty. So if they do send me that, I'll make sure to give you an update on that. All right, so let's just answer the first question I asked. Is this worth it? I think it's worth it if you like trendy bags and you don't want to, honestly, if you look at Prada's armpit bags or shoulder bags, let's just be nice. Shoulder bags, if you look at Prada, like, to me, would I buy a Prada armpit bag, or am I going to spend $340 on this one? Honestly, I would. It's like a nylon bag for like $1,500. Do you want a Prada nylon bag, which you're just really paying for the logo if you think about it? Or would you rather spend $340 on a indie brand that is fully leather? I would say I'm gonna spend the $340 on a trendy bag, a shoulder bag that fully leather made. Now, if I'm comparing to like a top handle with a crossbody or a shoulder bag like this, and I'm spending the same amount of money all day, I'm gonna go with the shoulder and top handle kind of bag, just because the crossbody strap, my usual. I would spend money on that particular, just because personal preference. Now, if shoulder bags are your thing and that is your vibe, that is, your jam, then yeah, I say $340. It's a decent investment. If you wear this bag for 2, 3, 4 years, girl math, your cost per wear, I think it's okay. I would spend the money. So I hope you enjoyed this video. it was a very long-winded video and all of my thoughts like thrown into the video here today, but I hope you enjoyed it, got a laugh out of it. But like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I think they got a 10% coupon off, so definitely use that if you're going to purchase. I'll see you all next time.